He enters into a forbidden cave and is infected with demonic eye power that gives him immense abilities. The guy becomes so strong that I think he could probably take on 100 gorillas. It all begins with Special Force Sniper Lazi, who gets into position while his fat fatso partner named Sun pretends to be a buyer of some illegal medicine. He's led through the jungle by the dealer as he complains about the insects, and long distance they must walk to see the product. Sun pretends to need to rest because he is big-boned, but he also uses this opportunity to activate his watch, alerting the others to his location. Lazi confirms the exact position of the target from his scope. The dealer gets a call tipping him about the operation. His customer service flies out the window as he punches Sun square in the face. Lazi sees everything and reports that the cover of their guy has been blown. He acts fast and shoots the gun out of the dealer's hand before he can eliminate Sun. Lazi proceeds to take out some of the henchmen. The dealer quickly escapes with Sun as his captive. The Special Force unit proceed to follow the signal till it suddenly disappears ahead. They turn to Mr. Lin for guidance when they arrive at a waterfall that has a cave entrance. The old man warns them not to enter. During his 20 years as the ranger of the area, people have lost their lives every year venturing into the cave. None of the villagers or the creatures dare to come near the cave and the surrounding waters. People call it the man-eating pool since it's so evil. The captain of the unit doesn't listen to the warning and orders his men to proceed forward. The old man doesn't follow because he's sure that people will die. The supernatural power enters Lazi's eye as soon as he steps into the area where he gets a vision of a mask. He proceeds with the rest after rubbing his eyes. The unit move in formation as they enter the cave. They come across a dried-up corpse. The captain guesses that the guy has been gone for a long time. He was saying a prayer before he met his demise based on his hand gestures. They continue to analyze the area, but they can't find a path forward. Lazi removes his goggles, and his new paranormal eye activates. The guy sees masks all over the cave wall, which leads him to a bigger one. He touches it, and a hidden door opens. They enter a vast area to find some crates. The captain assumes them to be the contraband the dealer was hiding, but they check to find the boxes empty. They suddenly get on edge when Sun and the dealer frantically runs toward them, screaming that they are being chased by monsters. The bad guy drops his gun and begs to be arrested, as that is better than the fate that awaits him if the creature gets a hold of him. He doesn't know where the product has disappeared to when asked. Sun blames the dealer for hiding the illegal imports in such a place. He demands to know if there is another way out since the path they used to enter has been closed. The dealer states that the only other path is infested with the monsters. The captain orders everyone to stay alert as they go check. Sun tries to dodge following them, but he's given a weapon and forced to join them since he knows the situation. They move to another open area where the bodies of the dealer's guard litter the floor. Sun informs everyone that the guy was bitten by the monster. Stray shots and screams start to fill the area as members of the unit are picked off. The other respond by opening fire on the creature. The captain commands Lazi and another guy to move forward. The creature jumps out, but Lazi's close-quarter shot bounces off it. He's thrown to the side, but the creature eliminates the other guy. The sniper retrieves a weapon and uses his expert marksmanship to repeatedly hit the same spot on the monster's head till it collapses into many balls. The orbs roll into the dark, prompting a pack of creatures to come out. They quickly run through the cave and manage to bring most of them down when Lazi shoots a bridge. The party find themselves at the center of the tavern, which has a tower. There are still plenty monsters remaining and they march towards them. The door at the base of the tower opens, and Mr. Lin walks out, reminding them of his warning for them not to come. The dealer recognizes the old man as the one who led him to this cursed place to hide his contraband. He was also the one who called to reveal that Sun was an undercover agent. Mr. Lin reveals that originally his target was the dealers since their products cause much harm to the community. He never imagined that a member of the Special Force unit would have the ability to be able to get into the cave even though he sealed it. The captain of the unit demands Mr. Lin to reveal his identity. A huge spike in spirit energy causes the water around the tower to jet up. The fatty gets scared and hides behind Lazi. The power emanating from Mr. Lin causes their guns to disintegrate. The old man shows his true form as he lets them know that they can't leave now that they have found his secret place. The creatures overpower them, but Lazi grabs his dagger and cuts one of the monsters down with it. The special blade activates his powers, allowing him to cut down the monsters mercilessly. The remaining creatures back down. After seeing this display, Mr. Lin is not surprised that the sniper opened the seal, and guesses that Lazi is affiliated with a person named Wu Mian. The guy has never heard of such a person before. Mr. Lin states that Wu Mian is the true owner of the dagger he holds. The old man is going to eliminate him anyway, so he doesn't think he needs to explain further. He unleashes a giant flood to wash them away. This is nullified by Wu Mian, who comes down after casting his spell. The old man regains his composure and casts an earth spell that raises the area, but Wu Mian flash steps past it. He gets within Mr. Lin's strike distance, and the senior citizen tries to use his staff to hit him, but he disarms the mage. A gun is pointed to Mr. Lin's head before he can even think about escaping. The old man can't believe that Wu Mian has hunted him down for almost 1,000 years because he stole a pill from him. The white-haired man confesses to holding grudges. No amount of groveling will move him to let it go. As he's about to pull the trigger, Mr. Lin discloses that he gave half of the pill to someone else, and they too are still alive. He gave it to the person to see if the pill was poisonous, but they both ended up living. The old man offers to give the location of that person so that he will be spared. Wu Mian agrees not to eliminate him if he gives this information. Mr. Lin snitches faster than 6'9" and names his nephew Yan Xiao as the other person. Turns out that the white-haired man knows him too. After getting the information, he calls Lazi over to end Mr. Lin's life. The old man tries to protest, but Wu Mian was playing the semantics game. He didn't say that someone else couldn't eliminate him. Mr. Lin quickly dashes towards the sniper, takes the blade and cuts the captain's leg. He then holds Lazi at knife point, stating that he knows that the guy has special powers like the two of them. Mr. Lin refuses to believe that he has no connection to Wu Mian since the lad is holding his dagger. The white-haired man laughs and activates the blade, which sends the old man flying. Wu Mian retrieves his dagger and gives Lazi the revolver to finish Mr. Lin. The old man jets towards him, but the sniper doesn't hesitate to put a bullet in him. Wu Mian destroys the tower, causing a ghostly wail. The white-haired man picks a golden skull from the rubble, and in that interval, a dark force enters Lazi's mouth, leaving him unconscious. He gets vague visions of his younger self asking his uncle about the dagger. He also remembers Master Dao sealing his power in the past. Lazi later regains consciousness in an infirmary. He looks over to find the dagger next to him. He hears a noise and picks it ready to attack, but he stops when he notices that it's Sun. The fatty informs Lazi that he's been sleeping for 3 days straight, and that the captain got treatment and is fine. The sniper tries to leave, but Sun lets him know that they have been locked in the room. Lazi gets into position to ambush when he hears someone approaching. He attacks as soon as the door opens, but he's quickly disarmed by Bai Lu. From that display, she doubts if he was in the special forces. She berates him for not being able to hold on to a broken dagger and doesn't know why the High Council brought him in. Director Hao of the first section pleads with her to give him the blade back. The two are told that they were quarantined to make sure they were not infected with any diseases. Sun is relieved to hear that they are fine and tries to excuse themselves. However, Bai Lu calls him stupid for thinking that the Bureau is a place they can just leave as they please. The two are transported to the High Council meeting by car. It's explained that the Bureau of Paranormal Investigation and Research is an agency that deals with supernatural cases that are out of the capabilities of normal departments. The man-eating pool incident is the kind of events they handle. Sun is surprised to see that they have more information about his family than he knows himself. They arrive where they meet with Chief Gao over some hot pot. They are told that they have been transferred and are now investigators for the Bureau. Director Hao hopes that these new recruits will be allowed to stay with the first section since past ones were snatched by the second department. Sun was just a standard donut-eating cop and tries to reject the job, till they are told that it's an exclusive offer and they will be getting 10 times more than their current income to compensate the extra risk. They quickly sign the contract and are handed over to Hao. Sun is a little worried that the contract lasts for 99 years, but they are told that it's just an expression. The two are in awe at how high-tech the facility is. The director leads them to the base of operations for the first department to meet the team. No one is around and Po Jun comes out holding a toilet covered in doo-doo. He states that he's trying to fix it. Hao introduces him as a veteran of the first section. The director is shocked and livid to hear that the other members of his team were borrowed by the second unit, but the boss of that department said it was an emergency. Bai Lu also comes to take the newcomers to get their equipment. The old technician can't believe they had the audacity to keep him waiting. He gives them a bracelet first, which has many functions. It acts as a pass, which gives them access to the Bureau. It is also a communication tool and can help agents query and analyze information. The device helps HQ locate investigators' positions while also allowing them to monitor the wearer's vital signs. The Bureau can come to the rescue if anything is to happen. The light on the bracelet indicates that all is well, but it only goes off when there is a problem. Bai Lu is ordered to give them the rest of their equipment, which comprises of a gun and of the baton. She tells them that they are on a 3-month probation period and she's their supervisor. The lady will be assessing their performance. She informs them to follow her to the archives. All the while, it is revealed that Wu Mian works with the Bureau as he arrives. The white-haired man wants to know how come the chief recruited the fatty. Gao informs him that he also has his own insights, but he expresses his worry about Lazi absorbing Mr. Lin's powers. Wu Mian promises to deal with it personally if the guy loses control. The two go to the office to continue their meeting. The chief briefs Wu Mian on a new site the Bureau recently found. They believe it to be the Daiweishi kingdom, which is a couple hundred years older than Wumian. The ancient being corrects him, stating that it's not the Daiweishi kingdom, and points out the subtle difference in the emblems. He reveals that the site is rather the Guji kingdom. It was established by a lucky person that escaped the destruction of Daiweishi. Legends speak about how the Guji nation also disappeared from the desert overnight. However, there is no evidence of this nation existing except in folk tales. But Wumian thinks it's time to prove its existence. During this interval, the newcomer arrives at the archives, which has an extensive number of texts. Bailu lets them know that there will be a written test based on some of them. This is part of the evaluation. Sun confesses to Lazi that he has a problem where he sleeps when he reads books, so he wants to copy from the sniper during the exam. Lazi informs the large man that he's a high school dropout, so he shouldn't really be counting on him. Their supervisor advises them to read more if they want to live longer, since it will help them get familiar with the work the Bureau does. She continues to explain how the organization is made up of 6 investigative divisions, which have some overlap with each other. The first department used to be the flagship section of the Bureau that handled the most difficult cases. However, this status has been given to the second division because of a top-secret traitorous incident. Bailu continues her tour of all the department, where we learn that she's with the 5th branch. She warns the two never to offend the director of the 6th division under any circumstances before alerting them on the recent mission that has been assigned, so they make their way to the main hangar where a craft is being prepared for departure. The second department boss Chu and the director Hao have a little tense standoff till it's revealed that both divisions will be tackling the case together since it's so complicated. Chu takes shots by stating that he doesn't want Hao and his unit to make a mess during this operation. He also informs the first section director that the investigators he borrowed now belong to the second department. Hao tries to protest this, but Chu bluntly voices his opinion that the first division should have been disbanded long ago. It is also disclosed that Chief Gao already approved the transfer of the investigators. Chu reminds Hao that he has not been completely cleared of suspicion regarding that incident. To make matters worse, there are rumors that Chu is likely to be the next chief. Lazi wonders what the grudge between the two sections is all about. After that verbal roasting, Hao aggressively denies Sun from sitting out of the mission. Everyone boards the plane, including Wu Mian, who does so discreetly. They are briefed by Chief Gao about the discovery of the capital of the legendary Guji kingdom. 5 of their archaeologists ventured in to explore and have lost contact with HQ for a couple of days now. The rescue team that went in to save them have also not come out. The goal of the 2 divisions is to find them as soon as possible. After the briefing, Hao reminds Chu that it's a joint operation, so the whole party is not under his command. Po Jun is too busy trying to battle his fear of heights to care about the office politics when he's asked by Sun to explain what is going on between the 2 directors. They arrive, but Chu shows that he's a next-level diva as he ignores the people in charge at the site. He even tells them to leave and let the second department deal with the situation. Wu Mian waits on the ship and observes Hao's more friendly interaction with the people in charge. Bailu goes over the information left behind by the archaeological team. Chu examines his blade as he lets her know that he's taking a strike team down to clarify the situation. She's to coordinate things above ground and make sure that the first department boss doesn't mess things up. Sun is becoming a fanboy of Chu the more he watches him operate. That night, Lazi gets hypnotized by some sheep that pass by the camp. The large guy notices him walking off into the desert and chases after him. He finally catches up and taps Lazi, which makes him fully conscious again. The sniper found the sheep in the desert to be strange. Sun wants to go back before they get into trouble. Unfortunately, they fall down a hidden pit which knocks the ex-cop unconscious. Lazi resuscitates him with a huge slap to the face because he doesn't want to perform full-blown CPR on those Burger King lips. They are not able to climb out because the walls of the pit are unstable. Sun tries to make a call for help, but their wristbands can't get a signal. A sinister-looking toddler-sized entity hops on the large guy's head, but Lazi is the only one able to see it. He tries to shoot it, but it quickly pounces on him and bites his hand, causing the sniper to drop the weapon. The creature retrieves it and holds them at gunpoint like a GTA robbery. The guys manage to dive into some cover where they learn that the monster doesn't know how to use the gun. Bailu comes in clutch and throws her staff at the creature, causing it to drop the weapon, which accidentally fires a few rounds. This prompts it to escape. She also can't see the monster and wonders why the gun was moving by itself. The lady is just doing her job as their supervisor by keeping an eye on them. She takes charge of the situation and leads them down a passage. They arrive in a room with abnormal stone blocks. Bailu reveals it to be a marriage ritual area. She also discloses how the king of Guji believed in a cult that led him to be buried with 3,000 young people. He was also condemned by the heavens. According to the legends, the Guji kingdom was buried in the sand overnight after this incident, then no one escaped. Bai Lu is sure that this mission is going to be more complicated than they first thought. The newbies look around the area as Bai Lu takes a scan of the room to find any clues that might help them proceed. However, the texts and symbols that cover the mini towers are completely unique. She orders the guys to check the other side. Sun would rather they leave as soon as possible before they fall for a trap. Ironically, the fatty is the one to trigger a trap by moving one of the pillars. This causes the ceiling of the room to fall on them, but Lazi acts quickly and pushes the others to safety. All the while, day breaks outside and the director starts to worry when he can't find the two newbies and Bai Lu, so he goes to check the cameras. Back inside the ruin, the pillars prevent the rubble from completely crushing them. Bai Lu starts to criticize Lazi for his poor performance so far and how his actions of leaving the camp has put the mission at risk. But the guy shuts her up when he uses his analytical skills to find a hidden lever under one of the stone blocks. He pulls it, which opens a door that they use to escape just before the ceiling completely comes down. Lazi spots the spirit that attacked him earlier as they slide down the tunnel. They find themselves in a corridor that leads them to a tomb. They first think it's the burial chamber of King Baiji of the Guji kingdom. However, the sea of swords that surround the coffin is strange. Bai Lu orders them to open the casket. Sun is excited thinking that he can find something which he can sell for a lot of money. They find that the coffin is made from copper instead of jade, which is more typical for royalty. The supervisor reveals someone being buried in a copper coffin was a form of capital punishment, since it was believed that the soul would live forever sealed inside. She concludes that this is someone that eliminated King Baiji. Lazi is given permission to cut the fused copper lid with his blade. A haunting sound blasts across the area. They inspect the coffin and find a normally wrapped body. Bai Lu is confident that it's not the king since this person doesn't have features typical of the people from the western regions. The guy looks like he's from the Central Plains. As she tries to figure out what is going on, Sun rummages through the coffin to find something, but the baby-sized evil spirit triggers a trap that causes the large man to fall into an underground area. He looks around after assuring everyone he's fine and informs them of the murals on the wall. The other two use ropes to make their way down to inspect it. Back outside, Director Hao's worries only increases since he has not found the agents yet. He contacts the old engineer at HQ, whose name is revealed to be Wu Yang, and he's the director of the 5th Department. Hao explains the situation. The old-timer doesn't think they should worry too much since the security footage showed that they left by their own will. He also checks their vitals, and they are fine. It is just that their exact position cannot be determined. He speculates that they might be a problem with their equipment. Wu Mian quietly listens in on their conversation while sipping on some tipsy juice. He excuses himself as the conversation ends, only leaving his empty bottle as a clue to his visit. Hao decides to go down to find them, but Po Jun is against it. During that interim, the trio are all in the hidden area. Bai Lu reads the mural which explains how Baiji's daughter married a man from the Central Plains who ended up dispatching her and leading a rebellion against the king. Baiji performed a sacrifice that summoned a black tornado that eliminated both him and his enemies. She is sure that King Baiji is lying inside the coffin in the middle of this hidden tomb. Lazi also notices that the deity the king worshipped turned their skin blue sometimes. One of the pictures shows him holding a lamp. Sun suddenly notices a lamp on the coffin which wasn't there before. Lazi looks at the picture, and the lamp is gone. He realizes that something is wrong, but before he can do anything, he collapses. The sniper wakes up and finds the lamp emitting smoke that covers the whole area. His eye activates as Sun helps him up. The smoke comes together to summon King Baiji's spirit. He points his sword at them as he demands they give his daughter's life back. Lazi hits him with a headshot, but it just passes through him. Bai Lu attacks with a baton, but the king vanishes and stabs her from behind. Sun is also swiftly cut down when he tries to shoot. The monarch continues to demand for his daughter's life back. Lazi grabs his blade livid and clashes with Baiji. All the while it is revealed that Lazi is still unconscious. Wu Mian suddenly appears to inform them that he's suffering a nightmare. Bai Lu stands in attention as it's revealed that Wu Mian is the 6th Department director. Sun asks where he came from, but the director ignores him, wanting to know how long he has been unconscious for. Lazi doesn't have much longer to live since he's trapped in a powerful illusion that he can't deal with alone. He will die in real life if he meets his demise in there. They need someone to enter to help. Wu Mian swipes his hands like Mr. Miyagi and enters the illusion as the king holds Lazi at knife point. Wu Mian demands for Baiji to release him, but the king does the opposite and rather goes in for an attack. But the 6th director disarms and blows him back, which frees Lazi. Baiji tries to confuse Wu Mian with quick movements, but the director plucks him from the smoke. He holds the monarch and orders Lazi to put out the lamp, which he does with his blade. This releases him from the illusion and wakes him up. Sun is so happy to see him alive. The sniper thanks Wu Mian for saving him again. The fatty reveals their savior to be the director of the 6th department. After going through that experience, Lazi has an idea on how they can escape the area. All the while, Po Jun reports the situation to the chief, who gives him the order to mark the center of the ancient complex and dig since they don't have much time left. Soon after the meeting, a report comes that strong fluctuating signals have been detected, and it's coming from the center point of the underground complex. During that interim, Lazi uses his newfound knowledge to find a secret door that leads to the next area. There are multiple suspended paths. Bai Lu figures that they have all been hit by an illusion. Wu Mian reveals that the challenge before them is called the 1 in 10 game. Out of the 10 paths, there is only one way out. The rest lead to dead ends. The 6th director orders Sun to pick the route they should take. After some hesitation, he finally picks a path, and everyone takes it without worry. The fatty curls up in a ball as the other trails around them start to collapse. He makes excuses and pleads for forgiveness, thinking that he picked wrong. A call from Lazi makes him realize that he chose the right path. Soon after, that way also crumbles, causing them to fall into another space. Wu Mian is impressed that the creator of the illusion managed to layer 3 together. This is like some Inception-level shit. They find themselves in swampy area surrounded by trees. Sun decides to drink the clear water and wash his face when he spots Hao and Chu floating. The 2 rookies dive in to save them when Sun is attacked by something in the water. Lazi gets the director to shore before going to rescue the large man. They find that the missing members of the Bureau are trapped under the water. The 2 get to land as the swamp attacks, but Lazi counters with his blade, forcing it to retreat. Hao regains consciousness first and explains how he found himself in this situation. Chu also awakens soon after, but he's still being controlled and starts to attack Hao till Wu Mian drops a bomb inside the water, which significantly damages the ecosystem, releasing Chu from the mind control. Wu Mian also reveals that it's the white water that caused people to hallucinate. It was also used in the lamp oil inside the tomb. The small creature controlling the area pops out, causing everyone to shoot at it. It tries to attack the unfit guy, but Wu Mian hits it with a fire attack, revealing it to be its weakness. It rushes at the 6th director, who nullifies it with a powerful fire technique. This dispels the illusion, and they are at the center of the complex. He also captures the monster with a barrier spell. The group spot the missing personnel and find that they have had their chi sealed, which has put them in this suspended state. They wonder who could have done that. After extracting the last of the victims, other investigators come to examine the area. Lazi finds a necklace which has an emblem on it that catches Wu Mian's eye. All the while, a member of excavation team is given the all clear from the doctor, and he gives a smile. The team return to HQ, where Director Hao commends the newcomers on their performance on their first mission. Sun removes his shirt, and some night pearls fall out, but their boss allows him to keep them. Wu Mian comes in and picks one, asking Lazi to send it to the address on the paper given to him. He's not to let anyone see the location. Bai Lu later comes in to inform Hao that Chief Gao wants a report. She noticed that Sun has taken something from the site and demands he give it back. The members of the 1st department have a little party to celebrate a successful mission. They are joined by Ouyang, who comes with boxes of tipsy juice. Sun can't enjoy himself since he has a cold. The guys bond and laugh together. Lazi wakes up with anxiety the following morning since it's their first day of training. He kicks Sun to wake up, only to find him looking blue like a Smurf. Lazi makes him cover up as they head to the infirmary when they are stopped by Bai Lu, who informs them that they are late for their first day of training. She spots Sun's problem and takes him to Ouyang, her director. The old man does some scans on the large man, stating that he's fine. It's just a reaction from the water he drank. He orders Bai Lu to send him to the irradiation room to get rid of the color. Ouyang insists that Lazi also does a checkup since he's around. The guy gets scanned and the results are worrying, but he tells the sniper that everything is okay. Chu's spy in the department saw the results, so calls his boss to inform him about Lazi's ailment. Lazi and Sun are apprehended as they go to training. During that interim, Ouyang goes to inspect a creature they captured from the trip. He also brings up his worries about Lazi to the chief and Wu Mian. Although the drugs they gave him is slowing Mr. Lin's power, it will eventually consume the guy if they don't find a way to remove it. Bai Lu interrupts the meeting to inform them that Chu has arrested Lazi. Hao tries to confront Chu, but he's not willing to let the newcomer go after learning about the volatile power that is inside of him. Gao orders Chu to release the rookie and promises that he will resign as chief if anything goes wrong because of having Lazi freed. Q agrees, but he also wants to personally oversee their end of probation evaluations, which Gao agrees to. Bai Lu puts the newcomer through an intense training program because Chu will be harsh with his testing. After a few months training, the day of the evaluation comes. They are to capture a guy named Feng Hua, who has been viciously eliminating his town's chickens. The two are given a time limit to find their target. The rookies enter Feng Hua's filthy residence, but they don't find him. A distressed cry from a chicken alerts them to his presence behind the house. They arrive there and he's munching on a live chicken. After a brief chase, the two nullify him, and Sun is happy that the test was so easy. They are told that their mission is accomplished. Sun goes to the car, but Lazi is prevented from leaving. Q joins him with some agents that hold Lazi at gunpoint. He plans to eliminate him since he's a threat. Hao and Bai Lu interfere, and the chief also tells Chu to stand down since Lazi is now a full member of the bureau. After the people from the other department leave, a member from Chu's unit expressed how he should be boss, but the director tells him to shut his mouth if he's going to be making such comments. They still have a long way to go before they can express such opinions. A new paranormal phenomenon grips the city. There has been rising cases of people falling into strange comas in various districts. Initial diagnosis of victims indicates that it's caused by an unknown toxin. Director Feng of the 4th Department rushes to another incident where they find their colleagues unconscious. He gives the order to notify HQ. The following day, Bai Lu and the two rookies arrive at the problem area on Wu Mian's command. Sun complains that the director is nowhere to be found after making them bring some boxes. The fatty almost falls, but he's helped by Yang Xiao, the nephew of Mr. Lin. He's currently a police officer and is the one in charge of transporting the trio. All the while, Director Hao and Chu are exiled for 7 days on an island to help them sort out the tension between the two. It also lets them think about taking better responsibility given their position. This is all in hopes that they come back as comrades in arms again. Sun just hopes that the two bosses are safe. Bai Lu changes the topic as she gives Lazi some medication prescribed by Yu Yang. It's to temporarily control the dark power inside his body, which he has to take on a daily basis. Sun asks the officer about the incidents around the city. He reveals that it has been going on for over half a year. New victims have been popping up every few days since. Even nearby surveillance footage doesn't show any foul play before the people fall into the coma. As he explains, Lazi starts to get a negative reaction to the medication, but he soon recovers. They arrive at the hospital where the casualties are being held. Given the sensitivity of the case, they have them in the basement labs. Lazi already feels like something is not right. They are greeted by Director Feng, and the fatty is already trying to suck up to him, commenting on how young he is to attain such a position. He cuts the long talk and shows them one of the victims. All of those afflicted have an emblem on their necks. It looks familiar to Lazi, but some thinks he might be mistaken. Bai Lu intends to start her investigation. The two newbies later take a break when Lazi gets a call informing him that Feng was found unconscious outside the hospital while looking for clues. Bai Lu is sure that he was knocked out somewhere else before being brought to the hospital. They bump into Yang Xiao at the elevator, and as soon as Sun sees him holding a pack lunch, the human black hole savagely reaches for it, but Yang Xiao pulls it away, informing him that it's for his wife. She is also in the hospital. As he walks away, one of the Smitch nurses reveals that his wife was in an accident 3 years ago, which left her paralyzed from the waist down. The baby she was pregnant with couldn't be saved. This loss drove his wife to try and end things for herself, but it resulted in her remaining unconscious. The lady has given up on life, but Yang Xiao refuses to give up on her and has been visiting her every day after work. The guy has gone into serious debt trying to cure his beloved. After the history lesson, the trio meet Wu Mian waiting for them. The director reveals that Feng has absorbed abnormal energy like Lazi. The ancient man removes the bad vibes from Feng and is given a waste pot by Sun to store the energy. He orders the two rookies to keep watch over the area for the night. Lazi has a strange dream and wakes up to find that Wu Mian has borrowed his consciousness and put it into a doppelganger. They both enter Sun's subconscious where his powers lie. They witness a competent version of the fatty beating the other versions in some board games. He's also woken up with his consciousness in a clone body. From that display, Wu Mian can see that Sun has hidden talent. The real bodies are left to sleep, while the director reveals that they are about to find the person behind this incident. The abnormal energy is released and splits into two. Wu Mian gives them a string to break if they run into the culprit. The guys chase the energy to a storage room where they are attacked by the culprit. It pins Lazi down, demanding to know who Mr. Lin lost his life to. The entity backs off when Sun throws something at it. This gives Lazi the chance to engage while Sun retrieves the string that they lost during the commotion. The entity offers to help Lazi get rid of Mr. Lin's power as it pins the sniper to the wall again. Sun manages to find and break the string. This summons Wu Mian, who quickly dispatches the entity, but it's revealed that it was being controlled by someone. Lazi and Sun wake up in their real bodies. All the while we learn that the one controlling the entity, was Yan Xiao. He's the leader of a strange cult and berates Lu Yun when the guy joins him. Lu Yun is the one behind the coma incidents that have gripped the city. But this has been done without authorization from the boss. These actions are only going to make it more difficult for him to hide his identity from the Bureau. Lu Yun is aware of this, but he feels like it's the only way to get Yang Xiao active again since he has neglected their church because of his vegetable wife. Yang Xiao gets triggered, stating that he will find a way to wake her up. Lu Yun promises to take charge of the cult and leave him alone if he lets him know the location of the Holy Earth Pearl. Yang Xiao refuses to give such information, but the usurper is confident that he will find it himself and secure the leadership. During that interim, the trio continue their investigation, and Sun notices something coming out of the coma victim's mark. Bailu recognizes them as an ancient voodoo called bug poison. The insects cannot be removed by force, otherwise they would poison the victim since they are still linked to the controller. Lazi finally remembers that he saw the mark on a necklace in the tomb of the Guzi Kingdom, but it was taken by Wu Mian. Yan Xiao later joins the trio. Bai Lu prevents Sun from revealing their latest discovery and gives the officer a file which has all their leads. Yang Xiao pleads for someone to join him at the station to complete the handover. Lazi is instructed to go, but Lu Yun waits outside the hospital and asks his driver to follow them. Meanwhile, Bai Lu and Sun sneak into the wife's room to take some scans of her to see if they can help. The large man sees something glowing under the bed, hoping that it's food, but checks to find some night pearls. He is sure that they are from the Guji Kingdom upon closer inspection. Bai Lu concludes that Yang Xiao has been to the site and is using the pearls for their ability to concentrate energy. There must be a connection to the mark, so the two call HQ. The scientists put Yang Xiao's picture through a database, and he perfectly matches with a cult leader from 100 years ago. Unfortunately, the Bureau doesn't have further information, so the chief wants them to continue to investigate the officer. Ouyang asks of Lazi when he doesn't see the guy around. He informs them that the chief already dealt with the handover. Sun calls Lazi to inform him about the danger, but Yang Xiao notices this. The sniper tries to give some BS reason for Sun's call, but the officer spins the car, just stopping at the edge of a cliff. Because he has had enough of the pretending, he knocks Lazi out of the car after disarming him. Yang Xiao reveals that they have already met at the Guzi Kingdom. He was one of the explorers who is unconscious. He wants Mr. Lin's power because it can concentrate the life energy of the ancient Wu clan. He needs this to save his wife. Yang Xiao gets serious as he transforms. He knocks Lazi back and follows with some needle throws that the guy dodges and blocks. However, it's not enough to get the sniper out of danger because he gets punched and pinned down. He only gets a chance to escape when Yang Xiao gets distracted by his phone. Lazi gets in the car and tries to speed off, but Yang Xiao teleports in front of him. He uses his powers to stop the car, but the sniper crashes into a cliff, bringing down rubble on Yang Xiao. This gives him the chance to escape. During that interim, Director Feng regains consciousness and reveals to Bai Lu that he was ambushed on a particular road. Lazi also calls to inform them that he gave Yang Xiao the slip, and Wu Mian ordered him to go to that same location, so they all decide to meet there. Sun and Bai Lu take a taxi to the location, but the driver warns them that the building is cursed and has been abandoned by the residents for many years because of the strange deaths associated with the complex. Meanwhile, Yang Xiao escapes from the debris when he's joined by Lu Yun. The usurper informs the former leader that he has found the Earth Pearl and he intends to pin the coma incidents on him. Lu Yun drives off and commands his driver to send him to the hospital. In that interim, the trio all arrive at the building around the same time and proceed together exploring the derelict accommodation. Lazi's eye power activates, giving him a glimpse of the horrors that happened at the location. They are soon attacked by some zombie-looking people. Lazi and Bai Lu deal with them non-lethally and fear that they might be human under the control of a spell, but they quickly switch to the use of deadly force when they realize that the zombies are puppets. Wu Mian comes in clutch to save them when the puppets keep regenerating. He tells them to come to the basement. They arrive to see that the director has secured the Earth Pearl. Meanwhile, Yan Xiao learns that Lu Yun has taken his wife from the hospital and is using her to threaten the ex-leader in order to get him to retrieve the pearl from the Bureau. He goes home and looks over the pictures of his wife while reminiscing about the good times they spent together. Yang Xiao begins his extraction mission. The following day, the team learns that the guy's wife has been taken from her room. Wu Mian spots the hidden camera planted by Yang Xiao and gives Lazi the bag with the pearl, making sure the camera catches it. Yang Xiao intentionally bumps into Lazi as he comes out of the hospital and quickly runs away with the bag when the sniper drops it. Sun and Lazi chase after him but lose sight of their target. However, Wu Mian corners the guy and confronts him about taking the other half of the pill given to him by his uncle Mr. Lin. The guy explains that he was tricked into testing it. The director states that it was his mistake, that the two have been living for over 2,000 years and he wants to fix that. Yang Xiao asks for more time since he has some other things to deal with. He gets neutralized by the director when he tries to attack Sun and Lazi when they finally catch up. With his back against the wall, Yang Xiao pierces himself, triggering a long-distance teleportation spell. Meanwhile, Lu Yun waits at an abandoned factory for the pearl. One of his subordinates informs him the wife has lost her life. He's not bothered hearing this because they already have her in their custody, so he's sure Yang Xiao will come. Just as he predicted, the guy turns up injured and exhausted. After enduring some teasing from Lu Yun, he presents the Earth Pearl and demands for his wife back, but the usurper orders his men to attack. Yang Xiao sends them flying with his needles and stumbles to his wife. Lu Yun follows behind, dropping the bombshell that she's not alive anymore. He also cuts the former leader's back. But confessions just keeps coming because Lu Yun also reveals that he was the one who arranged the accident that took out his wife. Yang Xiao falls into despair and tries to attack, but he's pinned down. The usurper did this because Yang Xiao's attention was taken by the woman. Lazi shoots the blade out of Lu Yun's hand as he's about to land the final blow. This prompts him to give the order to attack the investigators. Wu Mian counters them, causing Lu Yun to flee, but Yang Xiao chases after him to get his revenge. Sun and Lazi deal with the rest of the fodder while the director checks on the wife. He enters her inner world and releases her soul. In the meantime, Yan Xiao has an intense showdown with Lu Yun and comes out victorious. He prepares to finish him off, but it's revealed that the people in the coma will also lose their lives. The victims are also currently active and in a zombie state. Bai Lu tries to stop them and calls in for help. The newcomers rush to support while Wu Mian deals with the other matter. Yang Xiao is convinced to stand down when the director invades Lu Yun's body with a centipede that ravages through his internals. The pain forces him to remove the bug poison from the victims. Yang Xiao leaves with his wife in his arms. Wu Mian lets him know that he can help, which he finds surprising. Things go dark, and Yang Xiao wakes up in a hospital. The director left him with a letter. He reads and proceeds to the room where a baby is crying. The kid stops when it sees him and smiles. The flower symbol that appeared on his wife before her assertion also appears on the kid's forehead. The team head back to HQ where Ouyang and Bai Lu review the effects on the abnormal energy within Lazi's body. They are surprised that he has not shown more adverse side effects at this point. The two conclude that Mr. Lin consciousness is laying dormant, waiting for the perfect opportunity to take over his body. During that interval, the two freshmen return from their town run. Lazi gives Bai Lu what she requested for before she explains how higher-ranking agents get more days off after a mission. Their conversation is interrupted because of the commotion caused by the 6th Section's latest stud recruit. Bai Lu is a little surprised because this is the first time she has heard of someone getting inducted into the unit. They are all stunned to see that Yang Xiao is the new member of the 6th Division and are confused as to why Wu Mian would allow a cult leader into the bureau. Meanwhile, at the Lingyun Temple, Priest Xiao orders his subordinates to make preparation for another wedding ceremony. One of the disciples suddenly catches fire when he notices a broken incense in the offering tray. The master drops him in a pot of water before his subordinate gets seriously injured. Priest Xiao recognizes Sanda as the culprit when they lock eyes. The priest immediately calls Chief Gao to inform him that their old acquaintance is still alive. Elsewhere, Lazi meets up with his old captain at their comrade's grave. His time of mourning is interrupted when Bai Lu informs him about their urgent mission. Sun and Yang Xiao are already on the move as they pick up the two at the roadside. Their objective is to escort the master priest back to the bureau. They arrive at the temple where one of the well-fed disciples recognizes Lazi. While that was going on, Sanda hacks into the bureau system to retrieve all the records on the investigators. Lazi's profile catches his attention since he has so much hidden power. Sanda unleashes his army monster servants to exact his revenge and to recover the map of Tianli. He gives the order to eliminate all the investigators. Back at the temple, it is revealed that Lazi was once a top prospect of the temple. Priest Xiao is so happy to see that Lazi is working for the bureau because that was his aim when he took the sniper as his disciple all those years ago. Lazi doesn't want to be associated with the temple, but the master tells them to rest for the night. Bai Lu lets him know that they have been ordered by the chief to escort him back to HQ since the area is not safe. Priest Xiao is reluctant to go because he has not been involved in the bureau for a long time and only sees himself as a priest. He has no intention of leaving and orders the agents to go back. During that interval, the investigators stationed around the city get eliminated. Ouyang tries to get in contact with them to get a report on the situation on the ground, but gets no response. The old man contacts Gao and pleads with him to come to Central Control because they have a big problem. As soon as the boss arrives, Ouyang lets him know that their system has been hacked to the point that all their surveillance has been compromised. The chief sends the notification for all investigators to destroy their bracelets as they are updated on the breach. The party are forced to stop and turn around when they hear a huge explosion from the direction of the temple. They are ambushed by some of the monsters as they try to head back to the temple. The unit leader of the monsters stands there menacingly as the car is brought to a halt. He sends a swarm of creatures at the party. Bai Lu, Lazi, and Sun get out of the car to deal with them. The head monster turns his attention to Priest Xiao as it makes its way to the temple. The trio start to get overwhelmed as the waves of monsters keep increasing. Yum Xiao quietly sits in the car, still in shock that his phone, which has all the pictures of his wife on it, has been broken. He loses his temper in a smoldering manner as he swiftly defeats the monsters. He lets the others go ahead while he deals with the rest in the area. Meanwhile, all hell has broken out in the city as the creatures also swarm the streets. The chief gives the order for the unit directors to deal with the monsters, as it's the duty of the Bureau's responsibility to protect the public from such threats. Director Hao and Chu's team bonding trip seems to have worked because they fist bump and wish each other good luck before they head out. Meanwhile, the trio arrive at the burning temple and try to save as many people as possible first. They then find Priest Xiao, who is getting attacked by the leader of the monsters. Lazi engages it while Sun and Bai Lu evacuate the priest. The old man advises them to leave him and help their team member face the enemy, because working together as a team is just as important as completing the mission. The trio heed his advice and combine their efforts to create an opening for Lazi to take the head of the creature. In that time, Sanda managed to take the priest captive. He sends more monsters to dispose off the party. As they fight them off, it is revealed that Sanda, Gao, and Priest Xiao were in the same unit, but they abandoned him during their mission to retrieve the map of Tianli. The fire that burned Sanda turned him into a monster. He has been suffering and plotting for the last 30 years. Lazi and Co. try to save their target, but their bullets are stopped. Sanda attempts to let Lazi understand that he's going to be used and tossed aside by the Bureau given his current condition. He offers the sniper a place at his side where he will be taught how to use the power within his body. They try to apprehend him again, but Sanda blows the priest back and engulfs the rest in his fire. Monk Xiao can't bear to see others getting hurt, so he decides to tell Sanda the location of the map of Tianli. The villain drags him to a statue and uses his face to scan and gains access to the secret complex. An injured Lazi stumbles in before the passage closes to the protest of the priest. Yang Xiao comes in clutch and saves the priest from being crushed by some rubble. The monk alerts them to Lazi's plan to face Sanda in his injured state. He opens the passage for the others to support him. In that interim, the sniper catches up, and Sanda educates him on how he found the map of Tianli so it belongs to him. He intends to increase his power by absorbing it. Lazi tries to launch a surprise attack as the villain gives his lecture. However, he's easily countered and blasted into submission. Sanda tries to recruit Lazi one last time, but the guy is not interested. He only wants to do the right thing. The bad guy doesn't take the rejection well as he prepares to finish him off, but Yang Xiao intercepts. Sanda's attention turns to them as he engages the newcomers. Sun manages to obtain the map during all this commotion. Lazi tries to attack Sanda again, but he's burned. This dire situation gives Mr. Lin the chance to tempt Lazi to accept his power, which works. The guy gets a serious power-up which allows him to fight on equal footing with Sanda. Even the villain is impressed with his power. Lazi sends him flying out of the mountain with a devastating attack. He then turns his attention to his allies since he's in a manic state. Sun blocks his strike with the map, which results in Lazi regaining his senses. Meanwhile, mayhem still fills the city as the investigators try to deal with the creatures. Wu Mian exhibits how OP he is by mass defeating all the remaining monsters. Hu Yang and the chief watch on astonished that the problem has been resolved. However, this is short-lived when Sanda summons his huge fire monster that rampages through the streets. Lazi drops down with his new powers to prevent the fire from burning any more people. He jets off to face the creature, passing Wu Mian in the process. After a few exchanges with the fire demon, Lazi is suddenly knocked down by a giant punch. He tries to recover by sealing the monster with a water technique, but it doesn't work. Sanda captures Lazi and absorbs the dark power within him. Wu Mian springs into action as soon as this is complete. He needed a greedy fool like Sanda to take that power away from Lazi, since he could only be saved if it was transferred to another body. Sanda has helped solve the biggest headache when it came to curing Lazi. The villain gets annoyed and tries to attack with his big monster, but Wu Mian blocks it and finishes him off with a shot to the head. Lazi finds himself in another dimension, where the director Wu informs him that his choice can only carry loneliness. Later, Wu Mian takes an elevator to a deep level, where his brother is chained up. He informs him that he has someone he wants to hand over to him. The big bro looks up with a menacing smile. Lazi is rushed to the bureau to get some emergency treatment. He gets a glimpse of them trying to stabilize him before losing consciousness. He is placed in a special tank to recover. 2 years pass as he remains in that state. Sun tries to wake up his friend because he's been out for too long. Lazi finally regains consciousness after getting flashbacks regarding previous events. During that interval, a hooded guy gains access to the facility, putting it on high alert. Lazi breaks free from his restraints and punches his way out of the tank. He is confronted by a guard, but he swiftly evades him and escapes out of the room with his improved agility. As he gets his bearings, the intruder also runs around the facility getting chased by some guards. Lazi catches a glimpse of the hooded man as his hair turns white. The sniper uses some kind of location ability to see the number of guards coming his way. He hides from them in a storage room and manages to escape the facility dressed like a janitor. He goes to a noodle stall just outside the city to lay low, but he is spotted by a surveillance helicopter just as he's about to eat. Lazi is soon surrounded by Director Chu and his subordinates. They demand he surrenders as they point lasers at him. He stops himself from confronting them when he realizes that the noodle stand owner will be caught in the crossfire. Yang Xiao interrupts with his moped and uses his powers to quickly disarm Chu's men. After confirming that Lazi has turned into a white-haired person, the director reluctantly steps down when it's revealed that Wu Mian has requested to meet the escaped agent. Lazi later returns to the bureau where he demands to know what is going on with the organization. Wu Mian explains that the Tianli map was almost stolen by an intruder around the time he woke up. Lazi's actions made the guards think he was hostile. The sniper is surprised to hear that they haven't destroyed the map yet. Wu Mian lets him know that it can't be destroyed and alerts Lazi that they are heading to the 5th underground floor. Wu Mian's older brother is housed there and will act as a master for Lazi to help him control his new powers. The guy has been trapped and starved for more than 100 years. The director shows Lazi the special path he needs to take to access the cave. He leaves the sniper to proceed alone and informs him that his senior brother will not train him if he's not worthy. Lazi stands before the chained guy and formally introduces himself. The senior notices that Lazi recently became a white-haired person. Such people have achieved eternal life by eating the elixir of immortality. The sniper reveals that it was a byproduct of Wu Mian saving his life. The senior makes it clear that his younger brother didn't do it out of care, and Lazi agrees. The chained man asks Lazi to punch him with all his might. The result will determine if he teaches him or not. The sniper is reluctant, but the senior is sure that his body can't be destroyed by the attack. Lazi rushes forward and lands a powerful punch that sends the senior flying. He is stunned to learn that Wu Mian gave Lazi the seed and agrees to teach the sniper. But he wants him to bring food the next time he comes. He will get better training if the quality of the food is high. Lazi's training begins not long after. He practices on a punching post as his master enjoys the top-grade food brought to him. He notes that Lazi is still exerting force using the normal way and reminds him of the technique he just recently taught the sniper. Lazi slows down and focuses on the movement of each muscle. He's able to use the power of the seed to generate a more powerful punch. The senior tells him to remember the sensation he just felt and directs him to the next cell and informs him to record himself in there. He is confronted by 2 huge boars as soon as he enters. Wu Mian appears and activates the cell bars. He informs Lazi that the door will only open if he defeats the monsters. He will also give him an extra week vacation. The sniper wastes no time and starts to attack the creatures, but his blows are not effective, prompting him to evade the hogs counters. He recalls the new way of fighting taught by his master, causing his punches to become more effective. He defeats the 2 boars and returns to the surface in tattered clothes. The fatty is there to welcome him back and suggests they take a few days vacation. He is surprised that Bailu is going to be joining them. They head to a pastry shop in the city when an armed gunman comes in to steal the group's briefcase. Bailu engages him, but Lazi steps in to prevent her from being shot. He knocks the well-dressed criminal into the streets, but the guy manages to get away. Lazi is sure that the gunman was targeting the contents in the case and wants to know what is inside. It's now clear to him that they are not out for a vacation. The fatty tries to downplay the fact that they are on a mission by having them take a group photo like they are on a trip. It is revealed that they are trying to use the night pearls in their possession to gain access to an antique dealer called Ma, who has a fragment of the Tianli map. Hearing this gives Lazi some nasty flashbacks. The team proceed to the house of the dealer, but they are greeted by his daughter named Yi Yi. All the while, a sniper watches the interaction and is told that the trio are from the bureau, so he should act with caution. Back inside the house, the butler gives them some tea. However, Lazi doesn't drink it after smelling something fishy. Yi Yi checks the authenticity of the night pearl before offering her price. Their haggling is interrupted when Lazi requests to see her father before the deal is completed. She frantically leaves the room when she hears a thud coming from the other side of the house. Lazi starts to investigate as soon as she leaves and notes a strong smell of natural ketchup coming from the locked door. Sun uses his lock-picking skills to open it, allowing Lazi to continue his search. Elsewhere in the house, a werewolf also wanders around after eating a snack. Lazi hides from some men pushing a cart through the corridors like flight attendants. He follows them through a scratched-up secret door and finds animal hair and some remains. During that interval, Yi informs her butler of Lazi's intrusion and gives the order to take care of him. All the while, Lazi discovers a computer that has information about the werewolf that has been held in the building. His snooping is interrupted when the butler confronts him. They have a brief exchange, but Lazi overpowers him with ease. In that interim, Yi bursts into the room and points a gun at Bai Lu, demanding she hand over the night pearl. The tables are turned on her when Sun sneaks up behind her with his gun to her head. Yi reveals that she has already made payment for the artifacts, so they should hand over her property. Bai Lu makes it clear that they didn't agree to a deal yet. The fatty gets distracted by a sound coming from the other side of the house. This gives Yi the chance to get behind and hold him at gunpoint, and then asks for the briefcase. Bai Lu opens it to unveil 3 pool balls instead of the night pearls. Their standoff is broken when the werewolf smashes its way in. They dodge its first attack, but Yi gets in Bai Lu's way as she's about to engage the monster, but the agent pushes her out of the way. Sadly, that distraction was long enough to allow the werewolf to close the distance and pin Bai Lu down. Lazi hears the commotion and arrives just in time to knock the creature back before it could eliminate Bai Lu. He dodges the werewolf's attacks Ultra Instinct style before unleashing a Street Fighter combo on the creature. This sends them flying outside the house. Lazi is given one of the night pearls to use against the monster. The other 2 gather around the werewolf as soon as they realize that the pearls are effective. It seems to be working for a moment, but the werewolf lunges at them as Yi worriedly reveals that the monster is her father. Lazi lands a punch imbued with his power. This breaks the werewolf's transformation. Ma is taken inside to rest while they try to figure out what is going on. Bai takes a blood sample and tests it. She discloses that the old man's chromosomes are contaminated. This is causing his DNA to rapidly break down. The only reason the antique dealer is still alive is because he can heal 3 times faster than the average person. The Bureau has the equipment to save him, but the agents are unsure if he will make it in time. Ma suddenly starts to transform again. Lazi confirms that it's his powers that neutralize the werewolf when he uses it to return the antique dealer back to normal. The old man regains consciousness to his daughter's joy. All the while, the shooter is given the order to take out Ma when they confirm he has returned to his human form. Lazi hears the trigger and saves Ma by tackling him to the ground just before the bullet hits its target. Everyone takes cover as the lights are turned off. Lazi pinpoints the shooter and makes his way to his location with the help of his comrades, but the shooter is long gone by the time he gets there. They turn their attention back to Ma since they need to send him to the Bureau to fully treat him. Bai Lu is also adamant that they find the source of the genetic pollution. Ma decides to follow them when he realizes that they can be trusted. The antique dealer gets a flashback while getting his treatment. An avalanche trapped him in a cave in the Tian Shan Mountains while he was trying to locate one of the 4 maps of Tianli. He was startled to see that he was in the lair of some deceased wolves. After being stuck there for a while, he started to eat them to stay alive. He was finally rescued, but at that point he had eaten a decent amount of the meat. Presently, Lazi and Sun are summoned to Ironback's ship. The guy is one of the suppliers for the Bureau. Bai Lu strips them of their bracelets and phones. Chief Gao calls in when they have been cleared. He informs them that they will be going on a secret mission. Their bracelets will be programmed to show them in a different location to maintain the secrecy. Ironback is a trusted friend of Bai Lu. The chief is having the meeting on a third party's vessel because he believes that there is a mole in the Bureau. Bai Lu gives Lazi and the fatty the mission brief. Ma gave them the location of the cave he was trapped in. Their objective is to investigate the area. They can't get dropped off at the location because any approaching aircraft causes an avalanche. The chief is sure that one of the 4 maps is hidden there due to the mutated wolves. He also tells the team that they will not have any backup for this mission given how sensitive it is. Sun is given overall command of the mission. They set off and land at the foot of the mountain where they are greeted by Ironback. He alerts them that the recent snowstorm has made the cave only accessible by foot. Ironback equips the trio, while Lazi and Sun wonder who the traitor could be. The fatty later takes command and uses the ship as the base of operations. The ship AI gives him the relevant information needed to direct the other 2. After a long walk, they arrive at the cave and are surprised to see a van there. The fatty informs them that it belongs to Min Group, a multinational organization that studies biological technology. He also finds out that the group recently hired some archaeologists, which is odd. Lazi spots 2 workers retrieving some of the mutated wolves. Lazi and Bai Lu sneak up and take them out. They steal their clothes and van before proceeding with the aid of the navigation system. Lazi notices a task countdown in the van, so they are forced to take a detour because the path is blocked by some trees. He follows the cameras set up along the route to their base. They enter just after the timer reaches 0, and the facility is impressive. They are questioned regarding their lateness. Some drones are sent to confirm that a tree blocked their way. Ironback makes sure that there is a tree on the road. The duo is let into the main building after all checks are complete. Lazi and Bai Lu split up to investigate further. During that interval, the supervisor arrives to check on the scientist work. He is not impressed with their progress, so he injects one of the scientists with a drug that will take effect in 2 weeks. The supervisor wants better results by then, otherwise the unfortunate scientist will lose his life. All the while, Bai Lu knocks out the operator and gains access to the facility's control room. She hacks into the system and gives access to Sun. With the help of the ship AI, they alter the camera footage to wipe Lazi from the picture. They also search for information regarding the Tianli map, but they find nothing. They look for abnormally high energy consumption and find that something important must be kept at the facility given the usage. The ship AI presents 3 paths that the duo can take to proceed forward. Lazi takes the ventilation duct despite it having an anti-intrusion system. Unfortunately, he trips up the alarm which activates some fans, which will turn him into minced meat. Luckily, he uses a slime-like substance to clog the fans. This allows him to land safely and take the nearest door. Meanwhile, the alarm has put the facility on high alert as some of the guards gather in the main room. Lazi also sneaks in and finds that the room is full of the wolves with the pack leader at the center. He springs into action when he sees the supervisor leaving with the fragment of the Tianli map. He swiftly beats his way through the guards as the suit deflects their bullets. Bai Lu joins him just in time to give him some cover when he's almost attacked from behind. Another wave of guards appear and shoot up the place. Lazi uses his body to protect Bai Lu, but some of the stray bullets hit the machine holding the wolf leader dormant. The creature steps forward after letting out a powerful roar. Bai Lu identifies it as the wolf demon. The supervisor decides to self-destruct the facility since agents of the Bureau have infiltrated it. He also doesn't think that the wolf demon can take care of the intruders. The rest of the pack are released to further stall the agents. Lazi fights off the wolves, but Bai Lu warns him not to mortally injure them. The leader starts to engage Lazi, but their exchange is cut short when the supervisor stuns the wolves with the implanted control device. Lazi gains the trust of the wolf demon by removing the implant with his powers. This also frees the rest of the pack. Lazi heads off with the wolf demon to track down the map. They fight their way to the roof, but the supervisor lifts off in his helicopter just as the facility blows up. Lazi still tries to board the chopper, but he misses the jump. He gets a look at the supervisor and is stunned to see that it is Director Hao. During that interval, the wolf demon saves Bai from the fallen debris, and Sun jets in with the ship to evacuate them all. The supervisor lets out a sinister laugh, confident that they will be able to make a breakthrough with their research now that they have encountered a newly made white-haired person. The agents later return, and they are greeted by Chief Gao. He is almost attacked by the wolf demon, but Lazi calms it down. Wu Mian puts the wolf on a leash and leads it away. All the while, Gao gives the team their bands back. They head inside to present their report and their encounter with Director Hoa. Gao pulls out a picture and reveals that the director has a twin brother called Zhengyi. The guy was one of the most talented agents in his generation. Hao was only a driver in the bureau when the picture was taken. Meanwhile, Zhengyi was a director, till he left the bureau. Currently, Hao has taken leave, and no one can get hold of him. The chief would not be surprised if he linked up with his brother. After the meeting, Lazi pays a visit to Guangren for some more training. After serving the food, his master gives some information about the Tianli map and how it holds infinite secrets. He moves on to teaching Lazi the next skill, which will make him hyper-aware of his surroundings. This is achieved through intense meditation. He tries this by visualizing a water ball. After a few attempts, Lazi heads back up. All the while, Sun puts on a show for the other agents by feeding the demon wolf. Yang warns him not to mess with such a dangerous creature. He later meets up with Lazi. They go to the floor where the Bureau's fragment of the map is held. Lazi uses his power to try and unlock the secrets of the map, but he gets blown back. Gao calls for another meeting where he reveals that a mysterious organization has been trying to collect information about the Tianli map for hundreds of years. The artifacts that they have managed to gather are controlled by several elders. The organization leaders had a disagreement, and one of the elders named Min left with some artifacts. The guy's whereabouts are unknown. However, a relic connected to the Tianli map has come on the black market in London. This is because Min's son has had some financial issues and must sell it despite his father's warning. The Bureau's branch in London has agreed a price with the seller, and they have agreed to do the deal in the night. Lazi and his team are to help safely transport the artifact back to the Bureau once the deal is done. They set off and arrive in London by nightfall, where they are greeted by Priest Director Guo. He updates them on the situation and how the artifact is being held in a safe house after the purchase. During that interval, the injected scientist named Huang finds out the location of the safe house. He attacks and retrieves the fragment before the agents can escape with it. Lazi senses the turmoil nearby and leads them to the wreckage. Guo uses his healing powers to tend to the agent, while Lazi tries to piece together what happened. All the while, Huang delivers the fragment to his superior, but he has shown that Lazi is tracking him. The scientist is sure that his research will be complete if he can capture a white-haired person. This is an especially rare chance since Lazi has recently become one. He will not be as strong as the others who have been around since ancient times. He is told not to engage with Lazi, but the opportunity is too good to pass up. Meanwhile, the sniper uses his powers to guide him to Huang's location. The scientist gestures for him to follow. As they move through the city, Huang's superior tries to talking him out of engaging Lazi, but he doesn't listen. She is forced to send some of her guards to make sure the situation doesn't get out of hand. Meanwhile, Lazi is picked up by Bai Lu to continue the chase. They race through the city, but the duo loses him when one of the guards uses a ramp van to allow Huang to jump to the upper part of the overhead. Lazi gets to the guard and knocks him out of the van before taking control of it. He uses it to track Huang to a construction site. The scientist tries to drop some pillars on Lazi, but he dodges to the best of his ability, but ends up crashing the van. One of the other guards shoots the leaking tank, causing an explosion, but Lazi manages to escape just in time. Huang tries to persuade Lazi to leave the Bureau and join him because they have 2 fragments, and he can tell him the true secret of the Tianli map. He even promises the sniper unrivaled power. However, Lazi rejects the offers. The guard fires at him, but he manages to dodge and counterattack using a digger. After a few fail swipes at Huang, he jumps out of the digger and closes the distance, which leads to a hand-to-hand combat exchange. One of the guards provides cover fire when Huang loses the exchange. The explosion allows the scientist to break free, but Lazi takes him out by throwing a rod that busts a steam pipe behind the guard, knocking him down. The sniper dodges the shots from the last guard while trying to chase down Huang. He finally catches up and shoots him down. The scientist surrenders and drops the bombshell that he too is a white-haired person. He turns to show off his white fringe.